All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's class. So today we'll be handling React routers, right? So what's React router? Can somebody respond in the text box? What do you understand by a router? Let's start with router before we get to React router. What do you understand by a router or routing something? A way to navigate pages, okay? Used for navigating through pages, all right? Okay, so I wanted to get like a more real life kind of description of routing. Raise your hand. I'll give you guys an opportunity to speak on this. Let's be a little bit interactive today. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Who's gonna take it? Tayalua. Enoch. Hello, Enoch. Unmute yourself. Yeah. Okay, someone says routing is used for describing the path of different navigation of your website. Okay, okay, that's very apt. Okay, let's just head straight into it since nobody is forthcoming. All right. Okay, I felt the routers coming since it was basically a library, not a full framework to navigate through the website. Okay, Enoch, you can go ahead. Yeah, speak now. Let's hear you. I can't hear you, Enoch, if you're speaking.
Is used for navigating through pages.
Okay.
For example, maybe for a landing page now, you have your home, about us, contact us. So to move from your home page to your about us, to your contact us, you have to use like a React router there to navigate those pages.
Okay, all right. Nice. Alabi, let's hear from you.
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, carry on. Can hear you.
Okay, just to add to what he said now, because I'm just about to say exactly what he said. But to add to what he said, React Router enables us to create a single page application without having to, and it enables us to navigate those pages without having to refresh the pages.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's hear from Madaobi. Last person.
Okay, I just want to add a bit to what they said. So, apart from the navigation, we also use a React router to for protected routes. Like if you have like parts that you don't want some users, maybe users that are not authenticated to access, you can use router for it.
Okay. So ideally, is it not possible to move between pages if you are not using a router?
In React, I don't think it's possible.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, let's move into the class. You guys have really like done good with answering that question because yes, actually, React router is basically used for navigating between pages, yeah, in React application, right? So there are many ways, there are other uses or advantages of using React routers that makes it very, very interesting to use, right? Because there are scenarios where you can actually pass state through React router, through a link, which is also a component of React router, right? And then, yeah, basically just assessing some kind of properties is possible when you are using React router. And then for other reasons like optimized performance, right? React router helps with optimizing the performance of your application, like easy loading and avoiding general page reload on change of screen. Yeah. So I think somebody posted on the text box about SPS, single page application. So yeah, React is a simple single page application. So typically the navigation, the React router helps with navigating through the application. Normally, you are ideally React application should not overload, should not be loading every time. So that's where, especially when interchanging between screens, yeah. So that's where React router comes in. React router makes that process easier and smoother to utilize, right? So I'll just give you a little analogy of React router. So imagine a website like a book, right? So let's look at the website like a typical textbook, right? A textbook, you want to open through the pages, right? Without having to, you want to flip the pages without having to close the book and open the book again, right? So it's like, okay, I want to see the next page, but I don't want to close the whole application and then render the whole application again. I just want to see that next page, right? So each page of the book is like a different part of the website, right? Routing is how we move between these different parts without having to close the book, like I said, and open it again. So we are trying to scroll through instead of refreshing. There's something we call hard refresh. So instead of doing a hard refresh and refreshing our page all over every time that we log in, right? Yeah, so that's like one of the most important advantages of using React router. Let's move on to other. So what is React router is like a map. It's like a map that tells your application where to go when you click on a link, right? In older websites, every time you click a link, the whole page will reload. But when modern websites called single page application, right, SPS, like I said earlier, we can navigate between different sections without reloading the whole page. So we don't want to have a full reload of the page. We just want to render particularly what we want to see based off the button that we've clicked, right? Based on the link that is attached to the button that we've clicked. This makes the experience faster and smoother. So let's go ahead and utilize React router. So first things first, let us remove all our code that we used here. So remove. Okay, let me just run this. Okay, all right. Yeah, so we are going to start our application afresh again. Are you guys excited? Is anyone excited? Okay, all right, cool. So to utilize, yeah, nice. So to utilize React router, we install it. So we install it from React. So we'll do npm install React router DOM. So you can take that down. Yeah, for those who are not using npm, you can do yarn. You can do yarn add React router DOM. Do we understand? All right, good. So I'm not using yarn, so I'll clear that off. Okay. So I hope my volume is clear enough. My voice is clear enough. You can hear me very well. All right. Okay. All right. So first things first. Last week I was able to understand that you people like to follow the code from the top to bottom. Yeah. So we are going to start from the top to bottom today to avoid lack of understanding, right? Are we together? Are we together? Let's be smart about responding to respond in the text box if we're together. Okay, good. All right, so first things we'll do is to import. We want to import what we need to utilize React Router, right? So first thing I'm going to import, I'll import browser router. So all these things are like inbuilt, right? Do you understand? It's part of that React Router DOM that we just installed. So we have the router, then we have the route, then we have a switch, then we have our link. Okay. So we are going to be, yeah, so it has already imported for us. So we're importing it from React Router DOM, right? So let's move on. The first step we want to take is we want to create 3 components, right? We want to have our home component, about us component, and contact component. Now these 3 components are going to be pages, right? So first thing we want to do is come over here to components, and I want to create a folder called pages. So ideally, for proper readability of your code base, it's always important to classify your components properly inside your code base so that when someone looks at your code base, it's easy for the person to find whatever the person is looking for, right? So from this now I have pages. So I want to create 3 pages. I'm going to create 3 folders. For the first folder, I'll call it home folder, right? And then I want to have an about folder. And then I want to have contact folder. Okay. So I think we created a file instead of a folder there. So folder. Okay, so we have our 3 folders for where we want to place our components. So I can go ahead now and create our component home.jsx. So that is going to be our home page. And this is going to be our contact page. Then this is going to be our about us page. So I can do RFC, just initiate the function, right, for each of them, so that we can export and import them somewhere else. Okay, now, so we can now go ahead and go back to our app.jsx, right? So what do we want to do here? Firstly, we want a situation where we want to have a nav-like, implementation where we have our home page, our about us page, and then our contact page, right? So first thing we'll do is to use our router, right? So we use our router. Then within the router, I want to now create our first div, our container div. So this container is going to contain all the code that we want to write. So let us define a nav component quickly. So let's say nav. Okay, so let me just explain what we have here. So for this nav component, we are defining a list, right? And for this list, we want to have home, and we are defining the home route to be slash, right? So this is what that home route is going to be. Anywhere we want to link up or click so that it takes us to the home component. This is the route we are going to call this slash. Now we'll do the same for about, and then we want to call that very about us route. We define the about us route using the tool, right? For contact us, the same thing. This is the route. Now, when we come to defining our route, right, we have our switch first. So this is what we're using to switch through pages. Now, we want to say, okay, based on this route, switch us to home page. Based on this route, switch us to about us page. Anytime this link is clicked. Are you following? Is it clear? Okay. So switch doesn't work for you. So we'll test it out and see how it works here, right? And then we can always try. There are other ways. There's we can use React browser router directly, right? But we can also use this without the switch. Okay. But typically, it's like ideally people use switch because switch is like the I think it's the most recent one of the most recent additions to React router. Okay, so based on each of these routes, anytime this link is clicked, we want to, you can do that. So anytime this route is clicked, we want to switch to this home page, right? So ideally, if we, okay, so let's import home page. I don't think that's imported. And then about us, and then contact us. Okay. So if we save this, and we don't have an error, we should be able to visualize. Okay. The request model not will not provide an export name switch. Okay, so somebody said something about the switch. Okay, hold on, guys. Let's see why we're not getting what we need. So I'm right here. Apparently there's an error, but this is still part of the work. We have to figure out why we are getting an error. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, so let's just utilize browser router directly. Okay. All right, let's utilize browser router directly. Yeah. So I want to change what the way we are using it. So routes, routes and routes. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. Yeah. All right, so let's let's use routes to wrap it instead of a router. And then we want to wrap everything with browser routing. Okay, so let's test our work and see if we still have an error. So we are still having an error. Okay, so give me a minute. I'm going to explain why we are having all these issues in a bit. So what is it saying? Div is not the router component. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Let's do this one. Okay. Okay, so let's define our routes particularly here, and then let's handle other things in other pages, right? So let's go to the home page and define other things that we want to do. Good, so let's assume that we want to use the home page for our navigation, right? Okay. So we go back here. So basically, since this is for the home page, we are using this route, right? This is like the entry point to our application. So if you don't understand what's going on, just ask your questions in the text box so that we can clarify and move forward. Are we together? Can we go on? All right, okay. Lois, do you understand what's happening? Hello, Lois, text box. Speak, please. Okay, ask. Unmute, please. Unmute and ask.
Okay. Yes, I understand what you are doing, everything, but it was enclosed. I didn't get the way. What does it mean to be?
I didn't get your question.
I said I understand what you are doing. The router is just the exit, followed by route is. And that's let me put it like that. But I don't understand what is going on.
Okay. So your code, what's your issue exactly?
What is? I mean, why was it enclosed like that?
Which of them?
Switch.
Okay, so switch is commented out. It's not working at the moment.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
I understand what.
Yeah, it's not actually working. We have removed switch. So I was using a different method, but it seems like that method is behaving as if it's deprecated or doesn't work. So I reverted to another method of handling the routing, which does not require switch. Do you understand? Hello, do you understand me? Okay, so is it the way I commented, the way the comment was showing, is that the issue? Okay, all right, let's keep going then. All right, so we have our home page. So basically, this home page, we have given this home page the / which is the entry point, which is like the first route is the first route that the application opens to anytime it opens, right? So since it's the landing page at the moment, we are going to use home as the landing page. So what we are supposed to see on that landing page is this list showing home, about, and contact us page, right? So if we save and check our browser, we should have that in place. So it seems like we are still having an error. It might be a typo error. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on, let me figure out what's going on. Okay, all right. So yeah, I figured out where we have an issue. So basically, the way I'm defining the route, the components in the route, is not ideally how it should be defined, right? Which is why we are having this error. So we are supposed to define it as components. So basically, we should define it. So this is the issue with this is what happens when you use like a code. When you use code completing AIs, right? Sometimes they don't give you what you want. And if you don't pay proper attention, you can miss out on what you are trying to achieve, right? So yeah, I didn't quickly see this. So yeah. So for components, I'm going to remove this from here. So the fact that we did not define this as a component in this route, right? It was now showing that this component that we're trying to utilize as a route was not defined as a route component, right? So from there, you see that I say home is not a route component. All component children of route must be a route or route.fragment. So this is not a route component at the moment because we have not actually explicitly defined it as a component for this route to understand. Yeah, I'll do that now. Thanks for bringing that to my notice. So yeah, so for each of them, we should ideally have components defined properly in them, right? We should have component defined in them so that our route will recognize them as route components, as actual routes. So with this done, right? Save. Yeah, okay. So we should be able to have visualization now of our code. All right. So unfortunately, we are seeing about us, which is not what we are supposed to be seeing. So let's see why we are seeing about us. So we are seeing about us because we placed about us instead of home. All right, okay. Good. So, okay, yeah, so link is not. Okay. All right, good. So we have our list here, right? And as you can see, everything that is happening, every error we are having here, you see that is solvable. No error is inevitable, right? And no error is permanent. You can fix your errors. So you see that we have errors. I read through the error, I figure out what's wrong with the code, and I go back and I solve that problem. So make use of this console. It's very important for developers. This is your developer tool. So always use this as a good resource to solve your or debug your code. So all the things that just happen now are things that we ideally call bugs. Are we together? Good. So yeah, so we have our list. Yeah, so we have our list showing now, which is home, about, contact, and we have our routes defined for each of the list items. So ideally, if we click on about, it should take us to about us page without having to reload the application, right? If you notice, it did not reload the application, it just did a direct switch to about us page, right? So if we go back and we click on the home page, we're already on home page, right? So if you click on contact us page, right? So let's say we want to go do a back and forth kind of effect on what we are trying to achieve. So we can do something like this. Say maybe we can come to our contact us page and add a link here that should take us to the home page, right? So let's say we want to have a link here that should take us to the home page. And for this link, we want to make it expand. Yeah, so click to go. Um, all right. So what we want to see here is when we come to the contact us page, when we come to contact us page, right? We want to have contact us. Click here. Click here. Oh, I was actually to route. Click here to route to the home page. Why is the home page showing up there? The home page. Okay. So ideally now, from this contact us page, if we click on this button, it should bring us back to the home page. Are we together? Do we understand what's going on? Yes. Okay. I use navigate for going back. Well, yeah, that's also part of React Router DOM. Yes, of course. So you can use navigate to actually go back, right? I just wanted us to test our implementation of what we have at the moment, right? So yeah, so let's assume we want to use navigation, right, to go back. So we come to okay, we have a question, please. What again is that component all about? Which of the components are you asking about? Component, boom. Yeah, so you are using the component to define the route. So it's part of the implementation for defining the route. Without defining that component, where's our app.js? So without defining this component, this route does not recognize this home component as the component that should be attached to this route, to this path, right? So define this component now is like saying, display this component home whenever this path is called. So whenever they are trying to head to this path, this is the component that should display when they head to this path. And this route, this is what it understands. So it's saying, okay, for this route, we want to use this path. And then for this path, this is the component that should display on that path. Is that clear? Is that clear, Lois? Text box, just yes, no. Okay, good. So why I was using, let's go back to contact us page. Why I was using this method here, I just wanted us to see that we can actually use that routing to go to link to any page that we want to. Now for use navigation, right? Use navigation ideally is used when you want to go back. Now it's not like you want to just navigate to any screen, any page, right? You actually want to go back to the previous page you just came from, right? That is when we utilize use navigate. Sometimes use navigate, we also use it for like within our when we are defining our API calls, right? So let's say you want to make an API call inside a model, right? Or you want to make an API call inside a page called create user. Let's assume you have a form page for create user. And then you also have another page called display users, right? So let's assume you have a table on the display users part, and we have the how they call it, and we have the creation page on the other hand, right? So let's assume that on the page where we are displaying, we have a button that says create, and when we click on that create button, it routes us to the page where we are creating. But now we want to create with a form, and that's an API call we want to make, right? So we now want to say, after this API call, we don't want to remain on this screen. We want to go back to the previous screen. Are you guys following? Are you following? All right. So yeah. So let me give you guys a couple of instances where we can actually. So it's actually used for navigation, basically. Okay, you have a question. So the exact param or props comes into play when they have multiple parts that have similar name. Well, so ideally, I don't think you're not supposed to have multiple parts with similar names. Except name, the names finish. Why would you have multiple paths with the same name? Or do you mean multiple paths with this, like you want to use different path names, but you want to route to one component? I still feel like there's no use case where you want to use different path names to route to one component. Okay, so yeah, so exact is like saying don't miss the route. It's like saying make sure it is this route. You get, it's just the name. It's like exact now. It's like saying use the exact route that is available. You can use it for each of those routes. Listen, you can add exact to all of them, right? Uh, so yeah, exactly. Okay. All right. So let's navigate. Okay. So yeah, so let's assume that we want to navigate through, want to go back, right? Want to go back in want to define our, hold on, I'm with you guys. Okay. All right. I'm right here. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's use our navigate, use navigate, yeah. Let's use the hook, use navigate hook. Give me a second. So do you all have any questions so far? Any questions? Yeah, I cannot see the text box. Okay. All right. Let me give chance to others. Do you have any question so far? Yeah, Tiolwani, I see you are clear. Yeah, no other person, anybody? I'm waiting for you guys. Why is there no reaction? I need reactions. Even if you are clear, I need to know that you are clear. The concept is clear. Who else? I need at least 5 reactions or possibly 6. So I'm waiting. Okay, so nobody has a question. All right, let's go. So if you come to, let's use that contact us page, right, to head back. So let's assume that we want to create a button here. Yeah. So let's assume we want to create a button component, and then, yeah, we want to trigger this component using an on-click event. Yeah, so for the on-click event, we want to do a go back function, right? Are we together? All right, so we want to do a go back function for this on-click event. So if we come here and we say const, let's import our use navigate first. So let's say const navigate, right? It's equals to use navigate. So yeah. Okay. So after importing our use navigate, you see use navigate is imported side by side with linked. So you know it's coming from React router too, right? It's also part of the React router. So for this now, we have initiated our use navigate and our navigator, if I should call it that, right? So we'll go ahead and define our navigating function. So we say const go back. Yeah, we're going to use an arrow function. So for this go back, we want to say navigate one step back. Navigate one step back, right? Are we together? Then we can close this function. All right. Okay, who doesn't understand what just happened now? Are we together? So what happens here is that this use navigate, it tells the browser to move one step backward, right, in history. It's like saying, check what we visualized last, one step. Are we together? No. There's no contact us function inside the div here, if you notice. Right? Are we good? So yeah, we should have a return here. Right? Good. So yeah, so what happens here is this go back now. When this on click is triggered, this go back should take us one step backward in history to visualize what we just came from. So let's assume we are coming from the home page. We want to go back to that home page and see what's in the home page. Josephine, you are in class today. I know when you're in class, when you start drawing. Welcome. And after I complained, she drew another line for me to say that she's actually on seat. Okay. All right. So yeah, so back to our class. We have welcomed our artists. Let's move on. So for this is like simple implementation of this navigate, right? Now we can actually use this navigate to like navigate to a different route. Like we can also use it like in a scenario where we want to like navigate to, let's say, dashboard, right? So most times we use this in scenarios where we have login feature, right? So we have login, and the ideal concept is that after login, we want to display something like a dashboard, right? So we can have like a callback function that we initiate. We just tell our code or the browser that, okay, once this person is logged in, right, let's assume we want to use a callback, right? And we can say, okay, once this person is logged in, we want to navigate this person. We want to navigate this person to the dashboard route. Okay, let's say to the, what's it called? Hold on. We want to route the person to which pages? To the about page. To the about page. Okay. But we don't necessarily need, we can just do some tests for in the scenario where we are calling API. So we'll look at that when we start working in depth with API calls, right? But basically, as it is like this, we should be able to actually go back to about us page, right? So if we come here and we are like, let's say we are in home page, right? Hold on. So for this page, why am I not seeing the text? Contact us. Okay, it's there. Okay. All right. So for this page now, let's assume that we are in well, where do we do this? Contact us page, right? All right, so contact us page. So let's assume we get to contact us page. This button now, based on this application, right? If we click on it, it should not take us back to the home page. It should take us to about page. Is that clear? Anything confusing about that? Yes, it's clear. Alabi is clear. Okay. Who is not clear? So we have an error. Let me see what contact us link is not defined. Okay. Is this code? Has to be right. All right. Okay, so we are all good. Kindly explain that navigation thing again. Okay, all right. Henry, that's fine. So let's assume, let me use the code, right? So for this use navigation, it's a hook, it's like use states and all, right? It's also a React hook, but it's a hook that is attached to React Router DOM. So it's basically used for routing, right? So basically, when it comes to this, right, there are some scenarios where you can't utilize link, because link is more of a JSX tag, right? Now, if you want to use, let's assume we're using link like we're using link before, like we are in this homepage, right? You see that we're using it when we are returning our HTML code, right? That's when we're using link, because link is a tag. So ideally, we cannot use link inside a function like this. So that's where this hook comes in. So for using them inside functions like this, ideally we use this use navigate hook. Now, in order to use navigate hook, we have brought it and we have initialized it in this navigate, right? So when this navigate now has the history of the whole application in it, right? Including the routes that have been defined from our browser router here, right? So based on all this routing that we've done here, this navigate contains it knows all these routes, and it knows the components that it should take you to, based on the fact that React Router DOM the routing has been defined. So because it's defined, when you trigger this navigate and give it this argument, say, okay, navigate me to about us page, it knows the component that is going to take you to, because you have defined that route already here. Do you understand? Right? Do you understand? Henry. Okay, yeah, I see you, yeah. So based on that, we don't necessarily need to like define your link again. So we are now using it as a function here. And then we are using an on-click event here now to trigger this function. So we're using this now. Anytime we click on this button, we want to trigger this function. And in essence, when this function is triggered, we want to navigate to about us page. Are we all together? Any other person has a question should yeah, thank you. All right. So any other person, Obina, are you clear? Omotayo. Okay, no, you're clear, nice. Udo, I've not heard your voice in this class, so I must be really doing well. You have not made any comments, you have not said you are blockers. Hello, Udo, are you there? Okay, Omotayo, you are clear, good. In a noisy place. Though I've noticed that you're always in a noisy place, but I like the fact that you try your best to be class. Okay, who else? So Omotayo, you are clear. I saw somebody raise their hand. Who raised their hand? Okay, it was a thumbs up. All right, okay. All right, okay. Was the question answered, Udo? Quickly. Okay, Alabi answered it. Okay, nice. All right. Okay, so yeah, this is like basically React routing, right? So let's have a little bit of visualization, right? Let's go ahead and let's look at front-end mentor. Maybe we can have like, yeah, let's see if we can pick up a challenge and quickly route through the pages, right? Okay, so I have a question for everybody. If I ask the class now to do a simple landing page that should contain a navbar and should be able to route between should be able to route to home page, should have home page, that's the landing page. You should have about us page, you should have a contact us page. Are we confident that we can deliver on it? So we are all confident we can achieve that. I need everybody. I need you guys to be a little bit more interactive in these classes. Write in the text box when I ask a question like this. Don't make me wait and call. Okay. All right. So I think our next task should be a landing page then. Can we do the routing? I would prefer like with JSX. Okay, yeah, so okay. Let's do something a little bit more advanced, right? Let's do nested routing so that we can I would prefer it was weekend assignments. I'm not sure you have deciding power over when the assessment will be given. Eh? I mean Lois is asking for weekend. You know, we don't have the power over when we give assessment, so you are going to get assessments in due time. You get assessments when it's due. So when you get it, just do your best to follow up and just get it done. So let's see what nested routes looks like, right? Are we good? Can we move? No, this we can talk about that on Slack. I'll grade it. You did not submit on time. If you submitted on time, it would have been graded. So submit on All right, can you guys hear me now? Okay. All right. All right. Okay, so my apologies. I had technical issues. Give me a minute so that we can have our visuals back. Are you serious? Thank you. Thank you, Lois. So was it always that bad? All right.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so you guys can hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay, hello, can you guys hear me? You can respond in the chat box if you can hear me. All right, okay. Can you see my screen? All right, okay, all right, cool. Okay. All right, so let's go. My apologies for the breaking transmission. Sometimes most of these things are unavoidable. But we're back. All right, let's keep going. So we're trying to figure out, we want to work on a little bit, something a little bit more more advanced. So we are going to be looking at nested routing, right? So in essence, what do you understand by nested routing? Just respond in the text box quickly. What do you understand by nested routing? Are we good? Embedded inside another route, good, okay. Routing inside another route, okay. All right, yeah, so that's very, very correct. Yeah, okay, so that's very correct. So basically what we are going to do now is just modify what we have here already, right? So let's assume we want to add a dashboard screen, right? And then we'll say route, dashboard. So here we have not created the dashboard component yet, but we will. So we have, we want to define a dashboard route. So we want to define the dashboard route as dashboard. As slash dashboard. Okay. No, I wasn't using that. So we're using the dashboard as the route for the dashboard as dashboard, right? Let's be consistent with this since we are using double already. Okay, so now we have created a dashboard route, right? So it's just right that we create a dashboard component. Let's use folder structure. So we'd say dashboard. And then we can now define the dashboard component. The JSX. Okay, good. So RFC, all right. So we have our dashboard created. This can be used for error pages. Yeah, actually, but we will handle error pages, don't worry. So for this now, we have our dashboard, right? And we want to now define some nesting. We want to nest some other routes within our dashboard route, our dashboard component, right? So for this, there's another hook, right? That also comes with React Router that's called a use route match. Okay, so let's see this in Word. All right, so React router. So let's see if we have an error. Firstly, we want to import the dashboard here. And monitor. So yeah, does not provide an export name. So I'm not feeling like, why do these things not work anymore? But it's fine. So we can also use other methods, right? Use route match. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. So within dashboard component, right, we want to define, let's say, our dashboard first. This is the dashboard page. Then we want to define a link. Let's say we want to have two links, but we don't want to use an outback. So let's say li, yeah, good. Go to dashboard profile, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we have dashboard profile, dashboard settings, and dashboard log, let's say logouts, right? And then we want to define our routes for these 3 pages that we just called, right? So we can say routes, yes, dot component profile. And then we now say the same thing for settings and for, I don't think we need, let's not use this. This is typically not a route. Logout is not always a route, it's a function most times. So yeah, so we have these 2 routes in here, right, inside the dashboard, right? So ideally, we should not be able to, we should pass through the dashboard before getting to this route. As you can see, we have dashboard / profile, right? Are we together? Are we good? Are we following? All right, okay, good. So let's see this in action, right? So call this and remove this. And then we call this too. All right. Good. Okay. So we need to create this profile and settings, right? So we can come inside dashboard. Since they are going to be dashboard components, we can say profile. And then we can also say settings. Is anything not clear? If it's not clear, let me know. Please rewind. Okay, don't worry, I'll come back to it. So let me just create these components. I think you guys understand the whole. Oh shit. All right. So we're together, right? So JXX, enter. All right, IFC. Okay. So we now have our profile and our settings, right? We can go back to dashboard and import them. And settings. Okay, so we have an issue setting. Okay. All right. If we save this, we should be able to visualize our dashboard. Except we still have an error. Good. So we have contact about and okay, so let's add it to our link on the home page. So let's say dashboard. We want to call dashboard here. Okay. So if we save this, you should see dashboard. All right. So if we click on dashboard now, we are having an error. The route is only ever to be used as the child of routes elements, never rendered directly. Wrap your routes in a routes. Okay. So what we are getting now is that we should wrap. Where's the dashboard? So it's saying, okay, we'll come back to that. Hold on. It's saying we should wrap our route in a route. So ideally we should do this. So come to dashboard and then we should wrap it like this. Let's wrap it and see what happens next. Okay, good. So we have our dashboard component displayed. Okay, so let's go back to, I think some people have issues, so let's sort that out. Please raise your hand if you have a blocker. Raise your hand if you have a blocker, guys. Someone is saying rewind, and then I'm asking and I'm not seeing any hand. Hello, can we be fast? Hello? Why am I not getting it? Maybe it is clear to the person now. But the person was, it is me. Please start with the dashboard. Okay, all right. So Udo, what do you not understand? I need you to unmute and let me know what you don't understand so that I can help you clearly. Hello, Udo. Udo, you're slowing me down, please. When I was linking the dashboard. So linking the dashboard is like the same thing now. All I did was create a route here, right? I did just like I did for About Us page and Contact Us page, right? I created a route for dashboard. So now we know that dashboard has its own route and I created a component for dashboard. Now inside the dashboard component, right? Okay, good. So now inside the dashboard component, now, okay, let me still go back to home page first. So inside home page, we are displaying all, it's like a nav bar, right? So we are displaying all the pages that we want to be able to click and head to, right? So I only added dashboard to those links on the dashboard, on the home page. So if you come here and we refresh, say, okay, we need to go back. So we go back to home page, right? Now it's not going to be home about contact only, it will be including dashboard. So if you click on dashboard, we should now be able to see the links that we have created. So we have a H1 tag here, we have a P tag describing this page, and we have links again of profile and settings, right? So ideally, when we check this page now, this dashboard page, we should be able to see this text, and then we should also have two links again created here. So these two links now, these are other routes which we are defining inside the dashboard component, as you can see, right? Is it clear? Yeah, so that is why they have Lois, that's a very good question, right? Will it be necessary to make a sketch of how the pages should link before designing? Yes, of course, definitely. And that's where designers come in, right? Designers will have, what they do is prototype. They are able to prototype their designs in a way that they link buttons to where they should head to on their designs. So when you are using, let's assume you are lucky to be using a Figma file, right? to create your website. The designer in question is going to take care of routing, like pointing to where you should route your application to. So they will link each button to where it should lead to, right? And maybe, well, you can actually research this. You can go ahead on your own and research this. But yeah, they'll create those links for you so that you can see, yeah, prototyping, you can see for yourself. Okay, so if I click this button, that means it should take me here. So when you are building the website, all you need to do now is define the route that should take you from that button to that page, and then link it. So once the user of the application clicks on that button now, it should take them to the page that the designer has already showed you to link that button to, right? Now, for you now as a developer, let's assume you are not working with a designer, right? Now there's something like you can definitely create sketches, right? You can create sketches for yourself and maybe have like an architecture, right? An architectural diagram for yourself, right? So let's assume that let me see if I can do like a demo for an architecture. And I'm not sure that's gonna work right now. Let me try to use our whiteboard. Hold on. I'll be with you. All right. So have you guys heard of the application called Trello, Jira, or Miro? Let me see Miro. Let's use Miro. So let me go ahead and see if we can demo Miro. So these tools are basically for okay, so I just want to like give you guys a little demo of what something like that can look like, right? Okay, so let's use this, right, as an example. So good. So if you look at this down there, can you guys see my screen? Can you see my screen? I don't seem to be. Yes, all right, good. So, yeah, something like a flow chart. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Mario, yes. So you look at what is happening here. You see that there's like a flow here. So we have this, 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 we have this box, right? And for each of these boxes now, we want to have like a process flow based on these boxes, right? So for you now as a software developer who is just working on his own board, you want to at least have a visual knowledge of how you want to route your application, right? So maybe you can come here and say, okay, for this particular page, for this particular card, I want this card to display only. I want this card to be home page, right? What we're going to do is not going to be that clean, but I think you get the whole concept of what I'm trying to show you guys, right? Good. So let's assume that I have home page here, right? And I want to say from this home page, Oh, hold on. Let's move this home page up here. So I want to say from this home page, I want to be able to route to two places. I want to be able to route to the dashboard and let's say the about us, right? Well, let's assume I want to route to just the dashboard. Yeah, let's make it to and the about us screen, right? So now if you look at it, let's make this bold. Good. So if we come here now there, we now have about us, or since dashboard would definitely be the first. So say dashboard, and then over here we'll now say about us. So this stuff is something you can actually do with something like your Excel application, right? You can use your Excel application to do something like this. You can also utilize something this kind of advanced tool like Miro to have your like flow and structure. But yeah, you can also sketch. So that you can also do your sketch. You can even have a paper sketch of what you want. Let's say maybe you are trying to design a landing page. You can actually have a paper sketch of the sections, how you want to define the sections, right? And also still draw out the same flow diagram on a paper, right? Yes, even Figma too. Yes, that's why designers are using it, right? So Figma is something that they use to do all these kind of things too. Let's look at Figma. So are you guys following? All right. Good. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, so you can see here now, they have templates even in Figma for you to utilize, right? To achieve the same purpose. Good. So you see this template now. So this can also be a simple way of handling your stuff. So you can have like your home, right? Say here you want it to be dashboard only. I want to be able to route to only my dashboard, right? Then from dashboard, I want to, let's assume that we don't want to use this. So from dashboard, I want to be able to move between three pages, right? So I want to be able to move from this page Okay, my bad, I'm not a designer, guys, so people should not expect magic here. But yeah, basically, you want to move from dashboard to here. Let's say here is your about us page, about us, and then here is like your here is like your what do you call it again? Contact us page. And then, yeah, okay, let's say it's just these ones that we have to work with, right? So now you see that we have this structure from the edges. Oh, okay, yeah, thank you, my brother. So yeah, so we have this relationship now. So I just became a designer. I don't hear anybody clapping for me. You guys are not clapping for me. I just became a designer now. Okay. Yeah, so Yeah, so you see that we have this structure now in place, right? And we are looking good. Thank you, Don. So we are looking good, and we can just visualize now. We have a visual knowledge of our routing, how we want to route our stuff, right? So yeah, basically this is something that can really be useful to you. Yeah. Then so now let's test out our applications. I believe everybody understands now what happened here. The whole nested routes, right? Do we understand what happened here? Quickly, let's move. Okay, so we have 10 minutes in this class, so I'm not going to wait again. You guys are wasting time now. Okay, let's move. So let's test it out. So if you click on profile, it did take us. So it's saying there's no route like dashboard/profile, right? Are you following me? So now the question is, why is there no route like dashboard/profile? Because we have defined our route, right? So let's say if we use exact, we have our route. So it turns out we are not still getting our dashboard/profile route. So let's figure that out quickly. Okay. So in these kind of scenarios now, discover that we're having, that is why I wanted to use the other routing. Okay, let's just check documentation, right? Okay, so I was supposed to actually bring you guys to this. So this is like the documentation for React Router. So you can make yourself acquainted to this. Are we together? So you can actually explore this whole aspect. So let's check for our router provider, static router provider. Okay. Okay. When we're defining this route, I'm supposed to define this route inside the home page. Ideally, we should. So we're defining the path here. The path is defined. We should be able to do this route. Is it a typo? No typo. Okay, so We are going to look at this deeper in probably our next class because we'll do a lot of routing. So go back and research on why this did not work. And then I'll also give you guys feedback on this, okay? Are we good? We don't have time to complete this class, so I want to just show us one more thing before we move. I want us to look at our error page, right? So for error page, what we do for error page is create a route for error page. I'm going to create a route for error page called, let's just copy this and paste to save time. Error page. So I'm going to call this file for, and then we want to create a component called not found. Right, so let's just create that component. That's the default place, not found. J plus X. Okay, so we have our not found component. If we come back here, we can pull that component in. All right, so we go back and we want to define a redirect. All right, so we come here and we define our redirects. Okay, so we want to test that out. So we have our not found page. Yeah, showing not found, okay. And then let's say that's found, not found. Okay. That is not defined. Actually, it's not. For that to work, it will define and objects. This should also confirm does it exist. And also establish the okay, I'm with you guys. So I was trying to use the newest methods of doing things, but it seems like most of them are not working. I'll research and give you guys feedback on why they are not working at the moment. Okay. Let's just go ahead and attend to the things that are working. Let's use a working pattern to handle this. I don't think we'll be able to take this class further because we're already 1 minute gone. So let's look at this in our next class, okay? So what you guys will do is research on, you will research on 404 and how 404 works, right? And then we're going to handle it in class on Wednesday. We are already lost in time, okay? Is that fine? Hello, guys. Okay, so research on firstly, research on routing, right? Nested routing, and then also research on 404, how to handle pages that don't exist. Are you with me? Do you understand? Okay, all right. So that's your assignment for this class. I'm going to do grading. I'll complete your grading today for the 2 tasks. I'll do the grading for the 2 tasks today. So I'm going to need you guys to be quick with what you do. Yes, end this class. Thank you for coming for this class, guys. Let's officially end the class. Thank you.